and their social status to receive assistance from the state. Needless to say, health disparities is the community that we serve. It is my honor to welcome Senator Brouk and ask her to come and talk about these health disparities to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harmon, for everything you do for our community and for welcoming us and hosting us on this beautiful day. I'm just going to move this so I can read. For those who don't know, I'm Senator Samra Brouk. I proudly represent the 55th Senate District with parts of the city of Rochester and the surrounding suburbs in Monroe County. And we're here today joined by doulas. Doulas, raise your hands. Woo! All right. By mothers. Mothers, raise our hands. Some of them are also doulas. And advocates. We've got our advocates and allies here from across Western New York. Yes, we need our allies and our advocates to call on for what we deserve. We're here today because in this year's New York State budget, we need to expand our state's Medicaid program to cover doula care at an equitable rate of $1,930. But before we get, But before we get into what an incredible resource a doula can be, I want to describe the moment we are in right now. The United States presently is the most dangerous place in the developed world to give birth. Here in New York, we rank 25th out of 50 for positive maternal health outcomes, and it's even more dangerous for Black women. In fact, in New York, Black women are 5 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women. Here in Monroe County, the maternal mortality rate is 40% higher than the state average, with maternal morbidity among Black women 50% higher than statewide. And here's the thing you have to know. These numbers are getting worse, not better. Bringing a child into this world when you choose to should be a time full of joy. That joy is robbed from millions of Black women across our state because it can be daunting wondering if when you walk into the hospital pregnant, will you walk out healthy with a healthy baby? Because we know that the system is not treating us equitably. And worse, we've heard the stories of women who have suffered under these statistics. Shamani Gibson, age 30, died 13 days following the birth of her son. Amber Rose Isaac, 26, died due to complications from an emergency C-section. Shasia Washington, 26, died while undergoing C-section after her high blood pressure went untreated for 2 days. Jeza Torres, 27, died suddenly post-delivery. Denise Williams, 29, died 58 hours after seeking postpartum care for a pulmonary embolism. These are just a few of the names that we know, and think of all the countless names we don't. In New York, 78% of maternal deaths in Black individuals were declared preventable. 46% of these deaths being directly connected to discrimination. This disparity persists across education and income levels. Look no further than stories we've all heard: Serena Williams, Beyonce. We must take deliberate steps to counteract the systemic racism that exists in our communities and in our healthcare system. Making doula care more widespread and accessible by expanding Medicaid is a huge step to combating these deadly disparities. In case you don't know, we'll educate you about doulas throughout today. But a doula is a non-clinical professional who offers physical, emotional, and informational support before, during, and after birth. And with nearly half of all births in New York covered by Medicaid, expanding our Medicaid program is the best way we can make sure that this care is accessible to as many birthing people as possible. In fact, doulas spend 6 to 11 times more time with the birthing parent than clinical staff does. And those who have access to a doula are half as likely to need a C-section, have a 25% shorter labor. We raised their hands for the mothers. Who would have appreciated a 25% shorter labor? Okay. 2 times less likely to experience a birth complication, 4 times less likely to have a low birth weight, significantly more likely to initiate breastfeeding, and are less likely to experience a maternal mental health condition like postpartum depression. Too many families across our state know just how real our maternal mortality crisis is. And we have an opportunity right now as we speak to do something about it. That's why we gathered here today in our last moment of advocacy before the New York State budget is finalized, hopefully, that this year's budget must include an equitable reimbursement rate for doulas of $1,930 per birth. This isn't just about saving the lives of mothers and babies. It's also about supporting doulas doing this work who also need to support their families. That's why we are insistent on this thoughtfully created reimbursement rate, because we know that an equitable rate like this will allow more of these doulas to do this work full time, which at the end of the day means we are saving babies and their mothers' lives. I will stop here because we have so many amazing practitioners and advocates and elected officials to hear from. So next, I would like to welcome up my partner in this good fight for mamas everywhere, Assemblymember Sarah Clark.